It may be the size of a quarter, but researchers have high hopes for this little robot.
Here we're building some robo-bees who could utilize colony techniques and perhaps go out and pollinate large swarms of crops. You could also imagine search and rescue, an environment that people couldn't or shouldn't go into. Perhaps a robo-bee could go in and assess damage, look for survivors in an accident, things like that.
You heard that right. Robo-bees, as in robotic bees. A result of the partnership between Harvard School of Engineering and the Wyss Institute, researchers are trying to solve real-world problems with biologically inspired insect-like robots.